Okay, Veer is coming. Everywhere I look, that is what I see on Twitter. And we've all had the memes. It's been months and months since the announcement that he's on his way, since he first threw that threat across the bows of Monday Night Raw that he was coming to lay waste to everybody. It's been since October since we've been talking about Veer coming to Raw. Now, that is a long time, and we've made the memes, we've had the jokes, but am I the only one that is genuinely concerned? Little bit of anxiety building up in the guts about where Veer Mahaan actually is and when he's going to land. Well, I have done a little bit of digging. I've done a little bit of rational thinking. I've been up for 19 hours. I've had 17 of these. I've eaten 5 of these. And I now know where Veer Mahaan is. It's fine. We can calm down. Let's find out together where Veer Mahaan is and how far away is Veer Mahaan. So it was back in November that WWE filed the trademark for Veer Mahaan. Now, he was obviously on TV before that. We've seen him on WWE Raw. He knows where he's going. That's the important part of Lost Me Pen. He's competed in a number of matches on Raw, teaming with Jinder Mahal and his brother from another mother, Shanky. Like, those three were a trio that were making life miserable for Drew McIntyre on Monday nights. And then the draft happened, and Veer Mahaan very much found himself as a draft exclusion. As Jinder and Shanky went to SmackDown, Veer was left alone with promises that he was coming to wreak havoc on Monday nights. We haven't seen it yet. Why, though? Before we get into the where, what about the why? Well, what we can ascertain from this is that Veer Mahaan is that mate that you've got that doesn't do technology. We've all got that one friend that isn't on the Twitter, doesn't get the Facebooks. You sent me an email? I haven't checked my email since 2015. You sent me a text? Just ring me, why don't you? So Veer Mahaan, I would believe, it's easy to believe, that he's struggling with Google Maps, he's struggling with the tech to find where Monday Night Raw is on a weekly basis. Now, back in 2020 and parts of 21, when it was still emanating from the Thunderdome, that was an easier proposition, not as frightening for Veer Mahaan. But now it's somewhere different every week, and this is proving to be a problem in him finding Monday Night Raw. But Tom, I hear you say, so shut up, Veer Mahaan has competed on main events. We've seen him with our own eyes, wrestling in the main event ring. Surely that's the same arena as Raw every week. Well, you are correct. He is indeed competing on main event. But, however, the one thing we can ascertain from this is why he's appeared on main event and not Monday Night Raw, again, comes back to his lack of logistical awareness. You know, he no longer has his map-reading Maharaja to guide him round, so he's either turning up too early, too late, or not at all to Monday Night Raw. And you know what? A talent turns up, and they think, well, you know what? Either we send him back, or we use him while he's here, and then we'll send him back home. He can try again next week. That's what we're getting, maybe with Veer Mahaan. That's the only possible logical explanation why Veer Mahaan might be competing on main event, but not on Monday Night Raw. Okay. That gets us around the why. How about the where? So where is Veer Mahaan coming from? Okay, so he grew up in Uttar Pradesh in India, which is 8,630 miles from WWE HQ in Stamford, Connecticut. You can't walk there. You can walk up to a point, then you have to swim. Now, we have seen Veer Mahaan, and he is a specimen. I have no doubt that he could swim across the river, across the ocean rather than the river. But I think on this occasion, he may have flown. I couldn't tell you who he's flown with, though. Now, however, this isn't the reason why, we don't think he's coming from India, and this leads to where he is right now. He may not know a direct route to WWE HQ from India, but he, or somebody he maybe knows, would know the way to PNC Park, which is 115 Federal Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is the home of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Veer Mahaan, in a previous life, was the winner of the Indian baseball reality show $1 Million Arm, and he, from that, was courting job opportunities with baseball teams in America, and it was the Pittsburgh Pirates that brought him on in, and he went on to have a career as a baseball player, as a pitcher in 2009. Now, he trained at the Pirates training camp for a good long while. That was where he really cut his teeth getting into baseball. But here's the thing. Pittsburgh Pirates training camp is not in Pittsburgh. No. It is in Bradenton, Florida. Nowhere near Pittsburgh. It's in Bradenton, Florida. Now, this is a city on the Manatee River just south of Tampa. So, the 92-mile-an-hour power pitches that Veer Mahaan was pitching were honed in that particular place, just south of Tampa. He knows it very well. And here's the other thing, right? If Veer were to decide to head north towards Tampa and catch an Amtrak train to Orlando, it's about $12, depending on the time that you travel. He could probably get a one-way for $12, a little bit more for a return if he travels outside of peak hours. He will find himself just a 20-minute taxi drive away from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. That is where he was cutting his teeth in the wrestling world in 2018. So he knows that bit very well. He spent several years drinking from the baseball fountain of knowledge in Bradenton, and he was drinking from the wrestling fountain of knowledge in Orlando, Florida, at the Performance Center. So now that's quite a vast knowledge of Florida. But not only that, when he was training, he was on the Coconut Loop for NXT. So these are these smaller house shows that NXT were running, designed to give newbies a flavor for the wrestling experience. And this would see Veer Mahaan traveling to parts of Florida, tropical, beautiful parts of Florida like Fort Pierce, Jacksonville, St. Petersburg, and Winter Park, the home of Full Sail University. And this is where we saw Jinder teaming up with indus-sher for the first time. This is our first sighting of Rinku and Saurav, as they were then known. And that is, again, where he's learning the ropes of wrestling in Full Sail University, as well as the Performance Center. Those first and fleeting appearances on the black and gold brand were part of Full Sail University. So we are confident at this point that Veer knows his way around Florida. This is key. Veer's geographical gumption is at the point now. His appearances at even like his appearance at the Superstar Spectacle. This is a great example. A showcase of Indian talent that was in St. Petersburg, Florida, in the Thunderdome. Again, he got there because it's in Florida, and Veer knows his way around Florida. His Instagram supports my theory that Veer Mahaan is very much Floridian-based and Floridian-facing. Just a few days ago, he was attending a bodybuilding contest in Boca Raton, Florida. I've probably pronounced that wrong. Never mind, This video's silly anyway. All his gym-spiration pictures where he's leaping over blocks and lifting weights and looking hench. They are, now I've cross-examined these with gyms in and around the Florida coast, and they are all from the same gymnasium chain, Crunch Fitness. And there are more than 15 outlets, predominantly across the west coast of Florida. And I've checked some of these pictures. This is where he's going as well. He's been snapped at the Central Florida Archery Club as well, and he's made friends with this horse. That I don't know whether that horse lives in Florida, but it's just a lovely horse. It's just a lovely horse. So I've been through, following this, I've been through WWE's road schedule for 2022. And do you know what I saw? At 3:35 this morning, do you know what I saw? Monday Night Raw emanating from the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida. Are you thinking what I think you think I'm thinking? So Veer has struggled to find Monday Night Raw since he's been back on the road, because Veer Mahaan's main experience of living in America has been Florida. That's why he struggled. That's why he needs a guide. And then when his friends went to SmackDown, he struggled to find them. That's why he's been turning up early, late, or not at all and ended up doing main event. Because he knows Florida. So Veer Mahaan has been saying, I'll be coming soon, I'm coming soon, I know my target, I know who I'm after, I'm gonna eat you alive, lads. He's been waiting for one particular date, March the 14th, 2022, the night that Raw emanates from Jacksonville, Florida. I believe with every fiber in my being, with every ounce of caffeine running through my body, that Veer Mahaan is coming. He is coming, and he is coming on March the 14th. Take that to the bank. Veer Mahaan will be able to effectively find the location for Monday Night Raw on March the 14th. He will be there, and we will all be in a lot of trouble. But admit it, you feel less anxious now, don't you, about when Veer's coming? Because we know he's coming, and it's going to be March the 14th. Put a pin in that. I'm going to sleep. Stay safe. Love you, bye. Shouldn't be drinking coffee if I'm going to sleep.